Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, is Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man that, well, he always knows what's up, even if he's gone, JC.
Our worlds are colliding this weekend, Nestlemania, as we climb the ladder of destiny to win all the money that we can put in the bank, baby.
That was a lot. That's a lot.
She said.
Yeah, well, here
Not
we
to
are.
Me, but she said it to someone.
Well, to somebody, not to you, because she'd never give you the compliment. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's a lot going on here. Like you said, we've got Worlds Collide, we've got Money in the Bank, we've got some releases, we've got some SmackDown, some Raw, maybe some AEW. We'll see if we have time for that. All this shit and more today on the Jobber Knocker. Listen, where do you want to start? Do you want to start on the shine, or is there something specifically that you want to get off your chest?
I mean, we can start in the shine, but is there something you want to get off your chest?
Well, I'm just curious because I'm getting more information about this R-Truth stuff. Like, it just seems like it's happening on NXT. It happened on, it's bizarre to me.
I will say, because I saw people tweeting about, like, because I obviously never watch Raw live, being like, oh, there's so many we want truth match chance. Then I watched it and I'm like, I mean, they're there, but they were very faint. And they were so faint, like, it's not, like, look it, whenever a superstar is popular as R-Truth, like this happens, it's like, it sucks. We love R-Truth, but as we've said many a time with the new age WWE and how they are a factory, when contracts come up, sometimes they don't get renewed, because here's the problem. When a contract comes up and you make this decision, you have to pay them more money. And let's be real about R-Truth. He's 53 years old. He's incredible. I think he's worth the money. I think he would have been worth to keep around for segments and everything, but it's just one of those things. It's like, that's always not good enough, especially because companies are designed to make money. And not re-signing R-Truth and then spending that money on like 7 NXT people you call up instead makes a lot more business sense, unfortunately. Obviously, it has the same thing happen to my boy Carlito. That one devastates me as well, but I'm happy that I got him back, because that, you remember when we do these Rumble Hopes every year, Carlito was when I put in my Rumble Hope every year. So when he came back, I was so thrilled. He had some fun moments. We got to relive some of like the great Carlito comedy and whatever. He didn't wrestle much, but it didn't matter. Like, we'll see what happens with Judgment Day, because I do think that he is a very important piece to that puzzle of Judgment Day. So we'll see going forward if it affects it. But yeah, no, it's a huge bummer. We'll see it more come out of it, but that's just the way it is, man, because you got to make that decision when a contract's up. They're either back or they're not. And people usually get raises in Nestlemania when you get a new contract. So if you're making a lot of money, you know, it's one of those things. But yeah, it's obviously a huge bummer. If R-Truth wants to continue to be involved in wrestling, he will be. And you know he's going to get put in the Hall of Fame someday, probably, because their bar isn't very high. And he's someone that I feel like is going to get in someday, and his speech will be amazing.
Our boy, the Joe Stopper, says, R-Truth is a national treasure. Let him wrap it up in TNA.
I think that'd be a good fit.
I don't disagree. I think that him and Santino Marella would be a lot of fun. But it is weird to me because there is that connective tissue with TNA and NXT. So I don't know
where they all go.
I know. It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
It's just you can play in the sandbox, just not our sandbox. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think WWE is okay with it, because it's just, and especially like obviously the people down at NXT, like Shawn Michaels says it all the time. He's like, guys, I have no control over these releases. Like, I find out the same time you do. I have zero control over it. So it's like, we could have a plan for this person, then I find out they're gone. It's just, he's like, I've never had control of those things. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm just as devastated as you are. And it's just so true. So for him, it's like his job down there is to put on the best TV possible. They have this working relationship with TNA, so they're going to use whoever's found. I mean, they started using Zachary Wentz right out of the gate, and his tenure in NXT did not end well because of all the stuff that was with him. But it didn't matter. They saw an opportunity, and they're like, "This is a good story. This is good television, and we're going to do it." So yeah, it is always fascinating to see that, because yeah, if R-Truth goes over there is a good chance he could end up in NXT, and we see it. Like, there's going to be other people that were released that are going to do stuff in TNA and have a chance of being back in NXT. So it is a funny thing, but it's also, as we know, nothing is forever in wrestling. I mean, we just talked about Carlito, one of the two here that isn't getting renewed. He was gone from WWE for a long time, eventually came back. So those doors are always open. You saw it in that Rusev and Aleister Black were two guys that left, but then they go and they become valuable again as a return. So that can always happen. It's always a cycle, but I'm pretty sure R-Truth and Carlito will land on their feet. In fact, Carlito won a title while he was still employed in another promotion, so I think he'll be okay too.
All right, so we should get the regular part of the show, don't you think?
Yeah, always in the shine, Nestlemania, and look it. You see my name here, for those of you watching the video. El Primero JC. How do I not start the show with La Primera making her official member of the Raw roster debut and qualifying for that 6th spot in Money in the Bank. I mean, first of all, I fucking had a blast watching this match. I thought it was a lot of fun in there with Ivy and Liv. And it was just like, these are 3 people who had never really been in the ring together ever, but it didn't matter. This was a lot of fun. Stephanie brings such a fun style. The crowd is obviously red hot for her, as you saw in this match. We all are. There's no Booker T, but we all can fill in for Booker T, there. But it was great to see. And it's one of those things like, maybe we'll talk about the little shock value that we got last week that led to this, but it was just, we knew that for both Julia and Stephanie, they were not going to be in quote unquote developmental very long. It was just going to be a transition to let them get their feet wet, and they're going to be called up because they were too good and too big stars. And Nestlemania, I'm going to get more into my hope about my officially who I want to win Money in the Bank things here. But I've been picking Roxanne every week, but Stephanie certainly has given me a lot to think about in Nestlemania because those are my 2 girls right there. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I thought this was a lot of fun, and I am excited for her future here on Monday Night Raw.
I did feel bad watching this match because it felt like I forgot that Ivy Nile at portions of this match was even in there. And it is what it is, because it just felt like there was so much Stephanie that you're just like, that's what you're glued to. Obviously, it was a great match. I thought that Liv did a good job in it. It's so funny to me that like right off the bat, there's Stephanie. Right off the bat, she's in Money in the Bank. Like, it's just like, there is no, like, same thing with Julia. It's like, there's no mince of words. Like, they are there for a reason. I would imagine that at some point they're going to climb the ladder at that match, and it's going to be the 2 of them in the final. But we'll see. I don't know, like, the final moment like last year, but we'll see. Yeah,
no, it's certainly, because I mean, they're just, the women's match represents, I feel like, what we want for Money in the Bank every year. You look at it with Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie, the next generation of upcoming stars. Rhea, a top popular star. Naomi, someone who has one of the hottest gimmicks going right now. And then Alexa Bliss, just a fan favorite. So it's just like, that's kind of what you're looking for the mix, where, and the women's, I feel like, has been, for the most part, like, can't, like, a home run Money in the Bank match every time. They have 100% success rate in cash-ins. Whereas the men's, the last few years, kind of left the dolphin besides the Priest year, I think, because I feel like they haven't got much out of it, or they've just kind of ruined it. So, but yeah, we'll get to obviously that full preview later, but I couldn't not start the show with La Primera in her Raw debut.
What else did you enjoy there, JC?
Oh, what else did I enjoy, Nestlemania? What are you saying, Nestlemania? It's Tuesday, June 3rd here. We're in a new month. It's Christmas summertime. Let's call this the Shine Ladies Night to kick it off, because there's something else I want to start with. Yeah, Monday Night Raw, baby. And I want to talk about Lyra Valkyria and her fucking promo, because I'm watching this and I was like, I didn't think she could get continue. Like, every week I feel like we've come here and been like, she's getting better and better with the promo. And this, once again, I was just like, man, was this her best promo? Was this better than the other ones? I feel like I'm watching this feud with Becky, and it's just like, this is one of the better, like, women's feuds they've had, I feel like, in a while, for like a one-on-one. Like, it's just been good from start to finish. It makes sense. Obviously, it helps as a history, but think about all the women's feuds we've gone through leading into WrestleMania, where they had history and they didn't work like this. Whereas this just clicked instantly. And we're talking about with someone with Lyra who really hadn't found that character-wise yet. And then Becky, who, like, I mean, we personally get annoyed with all the time, but it's just like, it's just been so well. And both of these women have done everything they've had to do. And Lyra continually gets better. And I'm looking at this Money in the Bank card. You have the 2 ladder matches and you have the tag match. It's like, this is the only solo match right now on the card. Deservedly so, because right now in WrestleMania, this might be the hottest feud in WWE.
That's a bold statement, I think. I really do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know if this is her best promo. I think there was 1 or 2 before that I really, really, really enjoyed. It wasn't bad by any stretch. Becky, it's hard for me, and it's not necessarily her fault. It's just the crowd cheers for her regardless. And so it's just like this, like we've talked about this before, this like weird juxtaposition of like, she's trying her ass off to get booed and still getting cheered. And like the cheers are still louder than what Lyra's getting. Like, she's getting a what chant afterwards, which I find disrespectful, because I think she's doing incredible work. I will say there is one. For everyone, I know, but I will say there's one point of contention, and it's neither woman in this entire thing. So they have this promo that I thought sold, Saturday very well. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember. Probably Saturday, right?
Saturday.
Is it Saturday? So there you go. So they sell that, right? And then there's a brawl, right? And they're brawling. And as I was watching this, and it's probably when the gummy hit, but I was just like, Michael Cole is not getting up, getting excited, getting any type of emotion for this. They're just like, and there it goes, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, You know what would have really sold this? You know what would have really gone over the top? If he had fucking put some gusto into it. Him and Pat just kind of flatlined in that brawl. And I was like, this is the best thing going on Raw. And you guys are not getting up for it. And I just felt like it was so disrespectful because it was just like he got up for fucking CM Punk. He gets up for fucking Seth Rollins because he has to fucking use car salesman this shit on Monday Night Raw, but he can't get up for these women who are fucking just nailing each other in the fucking face. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is so good. All I'm thinking about now is this motherfucker's not doing a good enough job for these women. I was very upset with Michael Cole because these women really did a good job. So.
Yeah, no, he did. He definitely no-sold the brawl. And it was just one of those, because like I noticed that too. I was just like, yeah, well, I didn't like that, but that motherfucker was too busy posing in his basketball jersey, being like, look at my muscles. I'm Michael Cole. I still work out. I'm cool. It's like, but yeah, no, I completely agree with that part. But you know what? In spite of that, I still think they were studs.
Okay, what else you got?
Well, we said ladies' night, so I might as well put the third woman thing because I know you're excited about it too. But Naomi qualified for Money in the Bank. So yeah, that's what we wanted in there, and that rounded off the match. Naomi and Stephanie as the last two is exactly what we wanted. So yeah, there we go.
I really, really love what Naomi's doing. She might be one of my favorite acts in wrestling across the board right now. I think this is so interesting because you sit there, and this is no discredit to Naomi, but you look at like Bianca Belair, megastar. You look at Jade, and you're like, Jesus Christ, right? Like you look at her, and you're just like, this woman doesn't need to be in wrestling. This woman deserves to be in a movie poster. Like she just has like an intangible upon intangible. And then there's Naomi, who's relatively good, but never really scratched or never really got to a surface point where you're just like, this is a person that you can get behind, or this is a person you can boo, or this is a person that we can build around. I think all those things are gone out the window because I think this is the most interesting character she's ever had. It feels like a three-dimensional character. Just watching, Bianca come out with her fucking homecoming, and I'm like, I'm coming back once I can figure shit out. And she's like, I'm going to attack your mom. I went into your house. And I was just like, you're going to end up in a wheelchair like your mother. Like, I just thought like this was so great. And of course, Jade and her have the fucking, the brawl, and it goes into the Nia match. And I just was like, I was so pumped for Naomi because I was like, please God, not Nia. She's already had enough chances. If Jade went in, fine, I would have been okay with it. But then I thought about it as the match was going on, and I'm like, you think about all the people you named, right? And I'm just like, one of these things is not like the other in this match. So I felt like Naomi, not only does she deserve to be in this match and is in this match, I think, in my opinion, there's a very good chance she wins this entire thing. Like a very good chance.
I think in the women's match, I think you can make a really good case for everyone but Alexa.
Right, and I think that's the best part about something like this.
Well, I love it. I love it.
You watch the matchup, and you're like, hey, you know what? I wouldn't really be that upset with anything. Like, even if Alexa wins, I'd be like, okay, fine. Or if Julia wins, okay, fine. But like, there's a plenty, like across the board. I don't think you're going to be upset as a fan with that. And I think when you get to the men's, not so much.
There's two choices in the men's, and only
there's a couple of choices, but yeah.
Yeah, but that I don't know. It's certainly interesting, but I'm all excited for this. And what I did love, and I know it wasn't perfect that kickoff, but just seeing Bianca and Naomi in the ring together, it's like this. There's something here feud wise, and I'm glad they haven't rushed it, and it's still lingering there. And with Jade still involved, it's like we're getting little pieces of it, and it's just like I like when they interact. So
no, I mean, listen, I think that Naomi was something that I was just like, you know what? I'm not necessarily feeling it a lot of the times, like over the years, but she's done an incredible job, like redoing something. Like and Bertsky says anybody but Naomi. I'm curious, Bertsky, can tell me more because I think you're dead fucking wrong. I think you're dead fucking wrong because she's one of the most interesting things going on in SmackDown right now, and probably WWE.
Bertsky doesn't always think with his brain, so let's
stop playing with your dipstick then.
Yeah. He's too busy polishing his Peacemaker.
That's true. Joe Stopper saying, I'm here for the briefcase with caution tape all over it. There you go, Joseph. Way to think about the merch. Love it. Love it. There's a lot going on here. I think Bertsky's just maybe huffing paint. I don't know. She's boring. No. I could care less about. Okay, hold on. So you did something that I absolutely hate. And I have to, as an atom to an atom, here we go. Okay, you said the words, I could care less. Now, grammatically, you're wrong. Joe, back me up on this. It's I couldn't care less. Because if you could care less, then you do care. So you couldn't care less about Naomi because you don't like her. Use the English language. I know that's a lot coming from me because I fucking foam at the mouth and have, all sorts of problems talking. But I know that one. All right? So, Adam, be better. All right? Be better, Adam.
Did Adam just take Adam to school here on the Jobber Knocker podcast? School is in session.
There you go. See? The Joe Stopper from the fucking top rope. There you go. Love Joe Stopper. There we go. All right? Learn something. You learned something today. I could not care less. All right? There you go.
I call that's my saying for Seth Rollins. But we're not in the heat yet, so I'm not talking about him. But Nestlemania, I will say, look at, maybe it was just the one line, but Cody being back excites me. Jay joining him excites me because whenever I see them together, I just think about that press conference and I smile. And obviously then you have fucking the weird ass team of Cena and Logan Paul come out. But just the line of, oh, you're going to polish his Peacemaker. I'm like, Cody thought about this thing for like a day, but I love dying because I was like, that's so good. So good. And I'm going to use that all the time.
Yeah. It was so weird to me because it was like Logan Paul stopped him and he kind of like shoved John Cena. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like John Cena just it was such a weird thing. There's something about John Cena in general in this whole thing feels so off to me. I can't put my finger directly on it. And then Logan Paul comes out here and says how they're similar and all these great things about each other. And then he just shoves them. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? And then it was just like, what are you going to do? Polish this Peacemaker? And I was like, all right, that's fucking great. I love that line. Yeah. But it was just like, it just bothered the fuck out of me because until that line, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? Like I was okay with it. But I just feel like something about John Cena feels very, I don't know exactly.
He has not been good. His character has not been good. It has been all downhill since the turn. We have been on a steady decline. And since WrestleMania, him as champion, he has not been good. He has not been good. And it's a damn shame, but he just hasn't bbeen good. It doesn't look natural. Like we said it before, it's like, it's too obvious that he's playing a character. Where in wrestling, it's like, you shouldn't feel that way. So it hasn't worked. He's John Cena, so we forgive it because it's John Cena, but like he hasn't been good. Objectively, if this was anyone else, we'd be all over him every week talking about how shitty of a job he's doing.
I think it's really hard because Logan Paul next to John Cena is the glaring difference of what we want John Cena to be. Like Logan Paul is
clearly not capable of it.
No, but Logan Paul is bought all in to being like, all right, I'm making money no matter what I'm doing. I might as well be the most hated person in the room. And he's done a great job at it and in the ring doing a good job with it. Like he's across the board consistent. Like he's an asshole, like as the character. And I think that's wonderful. But when John Cena comes out, I'm just like, these two people are next to each other. I want you to be like Logan Paul. It's amazing to me that as a fan, I'm thinking to myself, why can't you be more like Logan? And like, in retrospect, you should probably be like, hey, Logan, you should be more like John Cena. But like, that's not the case here for me. And I like you say, we're not shitting on John Cena because of the work, of the body of work in the last 20 plus years. But it's almost like, I don't even know if I should say this because I just feel like it's going to be taken it's just going to be taken wrong. It's a what have you done for me lately business. And on the way out, unless he does something fucking exponentially, like a fucking exclamation point, to a point where you're like, well, that's a fucking way to end a fucking career. I don't see that coming. I think right now, this is a topic of discussion. I think John Cena is going to land a wet fart at the end of this sentence, and it's going to tarnish a portion, not all, but it's going to make you have a bad visceral feeling because as fans, you're going to want John Cena to be John Cena at the end of this thing. And you might get it, but it might be too late. And I think this whole thing has not worked out as best as they thought they were going to get.
Besides that last sentence you said, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction because it's one of those things like in the moment, we're always like, oh man, this is going to tarnish it. Then you get like a year or two later and nobody fucking remembers or cares.
Yeah,
you're right. You know what I mean? So but the last thing you said, it's like, yeah, I think they wanted more to this and they're not getting it. But I also will say, like, I think part of the reason why I'm not all over it every week is because that turn was just so fucking good. Like that moment was so fucking good. It's like they built up cachet where it's just like, when I look back at this run, what are we actually going to remember from this final run? We're going to remember that turn We're going to remember that shitty match that he won it, and then we're going to remember how it concludes. We're not going to remember all the shit in between that hasn't been as good. So it's just, as long as they do an okay job sticking the landing, I don't think it'll be bad. But even still, 10 years down the line, the thing we're going to remember the most is that fucking turn and be like, we actually got it. And then maybe that's when you kind of get into the minutia about it didn't live up. But it's like, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter that much. But since we're in the moment, yeah, I'm with you. I want more. And I hope that we get there, but I don't think it's going to happen with this character. I really don't.
Spoiler alert for me, TJ, JC, this is probably going in the what could have been category.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think that's very
because
fair.
I just think that a lot of people are feeling the way that we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. I mean, he's if he is seriously the GOAT, if he seriously is, he has conducted business the professional way, and I appreciate him. He makes me laugh. I love his outlook on life. Like, as a human being, he seems like a great person. It's just it's just so fucking hypocritical, in my opinion, for him to come out and be like, I don't believe you, Austin Theory. You're a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. You know, but then he turns around and does this fucking gimmick, and you're just like, I don't believe you as a fucking bad guy. So what are we doing here? So I don't know. I just think it's hypocritical, personally.
Don't disagree. But Nestlemania, since we're still on the shine, you know what I do like? Surprises. And we got 2 of them, at least in the qualifiers for the men's Money in the Bank. Because everyone, including yourself, was telling me it's going to be Jacob. And I was like, I don't know. I think it might be Mello. Well, guess what? We were both wrong because it was Eddie Lalo. And I kind of love this because Andrade in a ladder match, come on. And then we go over to Monday, and it's probably going to be CM Punk. But if it isn't, it's well, I don't know. There's no way they're going to put El Grande Americano qualified. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, I kind of love it too. And again, when we look at it, it's the problem with those 2 being in it is we're neither of them going to win. I think we agree that Penta probably isn't going to win. LA Knight probably not going to win. So that leaves literally Seth and Solo. And my fear with both of those, I get more in my hope, but it's I don't want Seth to win, even though I think he's going to win. Spoiler for my predictions, probably. And then Solo, I'm fucking terrified they're just going to have him cash in on Jacob. So it's just but I will say, I love the surprises. I'm happy Andrade's in the match. I'm happy Andrade's in the match because instead of old man CM Punk having these 2 incredible athlete luchadors in the match will be much better for the match.
I mean, Andrade is going to be the kaboom of the week. That's what he's there for. He's going to do something.
Oh, Penta's in there too. Andrade, Penta, and Andrade. That's 3 kaboomers.
And I love the flub. Maybe not so much a flub, but it was so funny to me that they were like, Chad Gable pulling double duty on fucking Saturday for Worlds Collide.
It wasn't a flub. He did it on purpose. Well, he was wearing the boots CG.
Yeah, it's CG. Yeah. So it is what it is. The Wang is here, by the way. Wang alert.
The Wang gang.
Wang gang in the building with 3 extra large eggplant. Look, there's a lot going on here.
4 eggplant, Nestlemania.
What?
4 eggplant.
That's what I said. 4 extra large eggplants. I was giving him
3.
No, 4. I can count, and you can count on me in the parking lot later. Look, it's timely because Happy Gilmore's coming out. So look, I don't really know how to feel about Money in the Bank. We'll get there in a little bit, but it's shaping up to be kind of a head scratcher for me. I'll be honest, some of it. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all. Okay. Do you have anything else that's positive?
We can get to the Heat.
Okay, let's get to the Heat. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. There's stuff that just, I don't know. It's just weird to me. We had this fucking match, which, it's fine. It's just we already talked about true stuff, but JC Mateo beats R-Truth. And then it was a funny backstage segment. He's I've never seen you before in my life. Okay, great. That was it. And then he's gone forever and whatever.
Jeff Cobb got his money.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb got it. Yeah, seriously. It's just whatever. It's cool. And it's just okay, great. And then it's just this random Wyatt thing, which I should be a fan of the Wyatts. Is we're not stopping till we're what we're owed. And I'm what the fuck? I could go down the detective route, but then I'm just what are you owed? What do you owe? Tag titles? Okay, great.
Yeah, I hate it. I hated this. Why? It's just you have this red hot division, and now you put in this fucking extra force that you don't let lose. And it's just it's gonna be the same segment every week. They're gonna fucking ruin tag matches by running in, just beating people up because there's fucking 6 of them. And they literally added Candace to DIY so they could have someone for Nikki Cross to beat up. It just, I don't know. I hate it. I hate this use of the Wyatts. Obviously it's inevitable that they probably challenge for tag team titles at some point, but it's like, then put them on fucking Raw, the division that needs challengers, not SmackDown, what has a really good division. Instead, now every single time we have a match, these fucking guys are just going to run in, lights are going to go out. It's going to be dumb. Crowd's going to love it, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't like this use of the Wyatts.
I agree with you because I feel like, especially with the way that the Wyatts have like kind of told us what their MO is about people who are terrible to their families, like the New Day right then and there, like they were terrible to their families. So like their literal families and then Big E. So I feel like that is just an easy, like fucking slam dunk. I mean, you could go on and on and on about things that are connective tissue for the Wyatts. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily loving it either. And it just felt like a fucking throwaway for me. So I
think it's just lazy personally. Cause I see Joe's comment and like, I agree. Like I can't hate them either. I'm not saying I hate them. I just hate the use of them right here. Cause it's like, you have them gone for so long because you're probably going to do something with Alexa. You're not doing that. And this is how you bring them back and just throw them in. I don't know. And the Bo Dallas promo, the Uncle Howdy or whatever the fuck he's called promo didn't really do much for me yet, but I don't know, whatever. But I'm just worried this is going to be the same segment every week and it's going to be repetitive. And this is why I hate invasion angles and fucking hated Retribution. It's why I hate the fucking group in NXT, whatever they're called, Dark Matter or Dark State.
Dark State, not Dark Matter.
Yeah, because it just leads to fucking lazy booking and just the same segments over and over again. It's just like eventually they get beat by a hodgepodge team and it devalues them. And it's just like, what are we doing? So I don't know.
I feel like we need to make a segment every week in the heat about Seth Rollins' stable too, because I know that's going to fucking happen.
That's my other part of the heat. I just can't, man. At least Raw didn't kick off with him this week. Thank fucking God, because it's just every time that happens, it's just like, well, I'm not excited for Raw now. He's fucking a terrible way to start a show, but like it just Triple H loves him, and I don't know. And this is the thing. It's like now Braun Breaker's just in a tag team. The best part of this faction is just in a tag team with fucking Bronson Reed, and Seth's gonna win Money in the Bank, and just be fucking annoying and be the champion again and make Monday Night Raw boring. I just can't do it.
I don't know. I just feel like. Well, I was watching this on Monday thinking to myself, okay, I didn't really love the AJ Styles Paul Heyman promo because AJ's not a strong promo. Never been. I mean, he's decent, but he's never been a strong promo. He kind of flubbed there, and it just was like, I didn't love the premise of the promo in general. Then later on in the night, we have the fucking tag match like you talked about, which again, I do appreciate the thread of like, Punk, don't fucking help us. Like, you got to win this big one tonight. Like, I thought that was a nice one-night storyline. Like, I can get behind that. And then he fucking fumbled the bag at the end of the night, which, again, it is what it is, and I'm sure we're headed to a fucking 6-man tag at some point. But like, and then of course it did weave in with the Jey Uso Gunther stuff, but like, I don't know, like it did a good job. I just think that you've made a statement a long time ago, which I hate when you influence me because sometimes you're like a fucking you're like a parasite with your fucking words. But you said it like Seth Rollins never truly goes away. Like. And I think that's it for me. It's like he's such a constant and he's not like he's a background player ever. It's just like he's always there. That like
always about Seth.
And it's really hard. And it's really difficult. Like I think you're right. Like you can give him Paul Heyman, you can give him Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You can call him the Vision or whatever I guess they're going to call it. I guess that Joe said maybe they'll give it the Vision moniker. But like, it's just hard because I feel like, I don't know, like, I just don't think it's going to work. Like, I really don't think this is working. Like, we want to see Braun Breaker turn.
There's a reason why wrestling has gone a big dip. Obviously, I made the thing about like, Cody. I mean, part of it is, Cody hasn't been around. That's obvious. Cena's hasn't been a very good, interesting champion on SmackDown when he actually shows up. And then over here, it's just like you got the Seth thing just dominating the show. And I just like the other part, I have so much fatigue of Punk having to deal with Seth Rollins. So much fatigue. And I'm just watching this and I'm like, it's the same thing I kind of said about the Wyatts. It's just like every week it's going to be Punk, Sammy, and Jay versus these fucking guys. And it's just like, there's better ways to do factions. And I feel like WWE and just in general in wrestling, because it's too easy to get lazy with it with the weekly shows. But it just for once, I just like something different, and we're not getting it here. And yeah, part of it is I do want Punk away from Seth Rollins. Like, can we just fast forward to Punk and Cena and just something like that? But it's a combo of all those things, but it's tough, man. It's tough.
I mean, they do a good job intersecting things. I think like the Jay Gunther stuff and the Cross and Sammy stuff was really good.
The Cross stuff was great. I love that he's still getting a huge reaction.
And I think it's fun to see that stuff, but I feel like, I don't know, like I understand that they're trying to build the threat of Seth Rollins to be like a big fucking deal. Like, don't let him do it. But Seth Rollins is not Roman Reigns. I feel like when you look at Roman Reigns and it's like Roman Reigns holding on to something for a while is like, okay, I believe that. No pun intended. Like when I see Seth Rollins, it's like, and maybe it's because he's going after the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know if that helps or hurts, but like,
no, I think you hit on the head, Nestlemania. Seth Rollins isn't Roman Reigns as a heel. He isn't Gunther as a heel. He's never been Cody as a babyface. He's never been what Jey Uso has become as a babyface. Like Seth Rollins hasn't even like been the Drew McIntyre level. He'll never be a CM Punk. And that's part of what they're doing with this thing is like him trying to be like a Punk Roman, but it's like he's never been that. Like he's always a top guy. I've always said that, and I respect the hell out of him. I think he is a top guy, but he has been and never will be the guy. And all those other people have been the guy and are capable of being the guy. He just isn't, and he never has been. So when they thrust him and forced him, which they've done so many times in his career to do it, it just doesn't hit there because he's not. He's not. Like him as the best babyface is when he is chasing the guy. Him as the best heel is when he is dealing with the guy, like a Cody. Like it's never just about him. He is good as the other side, the antagonist to whoever the guy is, but he can't ever be the guy, unfortunately. And he's going to be in this position when he eventually gets that World Heavyweight title, likely through Money in the Bank.
That's very upsetting for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're getting, I don't know if this is confirmation or not in real time here, but I don't know if you want to spoil it.
Don't spoil it for the people. Don't spoil it for the people.
Okay. Well, there's a big alert there
also,
on NXT.
WrestleMania, if you say that, it'll make them, it's the same reason why when you do a TV show, you shouldn't talk about the sport that's going on because it makes people change the channel.
Well, they're not fucking, they can watch us and watch them at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
Not if people are only using a device. Maybe they're only using a device and now suddenly they're going to go to
for
Twitter
God's sakes.
So,
for God's sakes.
You got to be careful with the counter programming there, Nestlemania.
Double screen it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, look, I don't know if you want to just get hopeful because honestly, I just want to wash my mouth out every time we bring up Rollins. So it's up to you.
Glorious. You're my only hope. I'll kick off Nestlemania. We'll get back to the Money in the Bank talk. And look, at every single week. I mean, they were like the first two to qualify. I've said Roxanne and Solo are who I want to win Money in the Bank. And I am here to tell you, Nestlemania, this week in my hope, I have changed one of those because we had two new qualifiers. We had El Grande Americano and we had Stephanie Vaquer. So, you know I love Roxanne and you know I love Stephanie Vaquer. So if either one of them win, I would be over the moon because I think these two women are legitimately like the top future. Throw in Julia too. Like it just like there's so much talent in the women's division coming up. It's insane. Never mind, you still have the Rias and Biancas who ain't going anywhere anytime. It's just like it's exciting. Hopefully they can write for it. But I'm changing this one, Nestlemania, because La Primera, I mean, her dominance in NXT, she showed she's capable of being a champion. And I'd love Roxanne to kind of, I think she'd be someone who could hold the briefcase for a while, but it's like, I don't think she needs to do that yet because I think the stuff that she's doing here with Judgment Day is a better way to have her work her way up. And she probably needs a nice run with a mid-card title before getting the big title. Whereas Stephanie, it's like she's already shown she can carry a show and be the most over thing on it. That she is the perfect person to win Money in the Bank. And I don't think we'd even have to wait that long to be champion, or if we do, but it's just like, I think she makes the most sense, and it's who I want. La Primera, Miss Money in the Bank. I'm changing this one. Give it to her. She deserves it. We go to the men's side. And I'm looking at this, and I'm going, well, I can tell you who I definitely don't want. LA Knight, no. Love Penta, but no. Andrade, love Andrade someday. If this was maybe part of his first run, I'd be for it, but Chad Gable / El Grande Americano, it's like, no. So that leaves two people. That's Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins. You sure as hell know that I don't want Seth Rollins in WrestleMania. So by default, I have not changed this. I still want Solo Sikoa to win Money in the Bank. But here's the fucking caveat and why I have to make it my hope. Because right now he has this thing going with Jacob Fatu. And my worst fear is they're going to Austin Theory this shit, and Solo's going to cash in and beat Jacob Fatu, except for he'll actually win on like Theory. That's my in Austin Theory. But none of us want that. So my hope is that Solo Sikoa wins Money in the Bank, and he uses it to cash in on a world title at some point. I don't know who. I don't know why. It'd be hilarious. Did he beat John Cena at that Crown Jewel, right?
Yep.
What if Solo Sikoa was the one to take the title off John Cena? Oh, that's even better. Make that the last part of my hope. Solo Sikoa wins Money in the Bank. Cash in on John Cena down the line. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC hopes come true. I'm all for this now. See,
now that I had a hope, but now like that you said that, I was just like, okay, well, maybe they will. Well, here's my thing. This isn't a hope. I just feel like this is a prediction, a spoiler, is that Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank, cashes in right after the Gunther loss. Jey Uso avenges, does the whole like double beats Gunther on Monday. And then Seth Rollins just comes in and fucking takes it, and we're off to the races for the summer, which I'm not thrilled about. I hope I'm wrong about that, but it just feels like a fucking foregone conclusion to me that Jey Uso is going to get fucked on Monday after they keep doing this whole like you're spreading yourself too thin bullshit. But to get back to the Solo thing, here's my logic is instead of him cashing in on Jacob, I feel like Jacob's going to cost Solo. And they're going to have a fucking like, oh, he didn't cash in. And like, that's what I think is going to end up happening with that. If Solo wins.
Sick of people losing Money in the Bank, though, in the men. I'm so sick of it.
It's probably better than him cashing in on Jacob's United States title, though.
No, I'd rather
Isn't
have
it?
a successful cash in.
I'd
rather have a successful
cash in. You'd have, so that bothers me.
If that happens, think about this. Both times someone cashed in on the U.S. title, it would have been a failure. The fuck is that? Terrible. Money in the Bank should be like a 90% hit rate.
No, I'm saying Solo. I'm saying Solo would cash in on the world title and lose because Jacob would fucking fuck him over.
I just hate that too. I think like before he has to wrap up with Jacob before he cashed it on Cena. It's just that's why I say do it down the line. Like it doesn't have to be now. Cena's gonna hold that thing for a while, we think. So
I don't know. I just feel like it's a Seth Rollins thing, bro. I'm going to pick Seth Rollins.
That's why this was a hope, bro. It's the hope.
Bro.
You don't hope for the worst possible thing to happen that's going to happen. That's not a hope.
I'm going to hope for a Grande Americano to finally capture the Intercontinental title. That's what I want.
That would be a much better hope. But again, it's a fucking mid-card title.
Penta is a world champion, not happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening right now.
You might have just Nestle cursed it into existence.
Not going to fucking happen ever. There you go.
Wow. All right. Write it down. Write it down, people, on June 3rd,
June 3rd, 235.
Nestle said Penta world champion. Never going to happen.
Never going to fucking happen. Never going to see the light of day. World champion? Like, Raw?
Remember, they have 2 titles in Nestlemania.
I mean, maybe. But like,
Jey Uso's a world champion.
That's true. Think
about that. So,
that's true. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If Penta, here's the thing. I'm so sure that Penta will not be world champion, and this will make everybody happy because they hate seeing my face. I will do as long as Penta is champion, world champion. I will wear his mask on the program. Okay. All right.
Well, now I want this to happen.
Yeah. That there you go. I will buy a Penta mask. It have to be a cheap one because I don't got a lot of money, but. Unless everybody wants to put it in the kitty, and then I can get a real nice one.
Needs to win Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I seriously do. Seriously. Children are expensive. And so, but no, I will absolutely wear it. If Penta becomes world champion, I will wear it the duration of his entire reign. All right? So you don't have to look at this quote unquote hair or this stupid fucking headband thing or whatever, the headphones you guys hate so much. I will cover my entire face. I'll have to put the glasses on top of the mask, which might be difficult. But there you go. Something to look forward to, folks. Okay? There's something to cheer for.
Did you realize last week that you wore your headphones normal?
I did that, yeah, on purpose, just to see if anybody would notice.
People noticed.
I know. I don't fucking call attention to it, but yeah, I know.
I'm just saying. I feel like you didn't do that on purpose, and now you're just saying you did it on purpose because...
No, I did it because I want to see if people are even paying attention, and I'm glad people are paying attention. That's all. All right?
I think you're just covering because you forgot to lower them.
If you realize,
it's almost more comfortable to wear it the real way.
I will say this much. Full disclosure, I will say this much. I was getting a fucking headache last week, so I did change it. It fucking hurts every week to do this. I suffer every week to do this. It's like I'm not even joking. It's like a migraine in the back of my fucking head because it's like pinching the back of my head. It's awful.
You're an idiot.
But I know I am, but I do it for the love of the game, baby.
When you started doing it, you made the case that it is the better way to do it. So
well, no. You're wrong. You're burying the lead here. I said I did this so I don't go bald and get a fucking patch up here. That's the reason I do it. No, this is right here. It started out like that, and then when I got so much hate, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to do it to piss everybody off. But that doesn't mean from time to time it's not going to go back up normal because I'm going to lose my fucking brain cells from having it squish the back of my head. So, yeah, fuck all y'all. All right? I'll do what I want.
IDIOT. IDIOT.
Okay,
all right,
anyway.
Comeback, Nestlemania. Don't call it a comeback. I'm going to go to SmackDown because someone made their SmackDown debut and he's bouncy. I love Javon Evans. This motherfucker is so much fun to watch. I fucking enjoy his promos. I love everything about this kid. I love him so much. He is one of my favorite things to watch in NXT. I love that the bigger audience got a little taste of him, that they're going to get an even bigger taste of him at Worlds Collide, which we'll be predicting shortly. But this kid, he's like fucking 22, 23 years old. He's one of the most insanely athletic people I've ever seen in my life. He already puts on fucking awesome matches at this age. And it's just like, I just have watched him improve every time since he's been on my screen. And like the promos he did when he was in the Open Trick feud, I was just like, I never thought he was capable of this. Never mind at this point in his career. So he's definitely getting my comeback for this week because I was just so happy to see him get that spotlight. And I'm even happier for him to get the spotlight on Saturday. So Javon Evans, bouncy boy, getting my comeback.
He's bouncy. I do like that.
Very bouncy. Yeah.
My comeback goes to, I cannot believe this is happening, but last week, the shocker of all shockers, JC Jane beats Stephanie Vaquer, and I was just like, out of anybody that could have beaten her, 3 broads just fucking beat her up, and there we go. Like, JC Jane.
She literally just lost to Jordan Grace.
Like, okay.
Jordan Grace on
okay.
Like, nope, we're never listening to JC Jane, who's never challenged for a title.
No, just like, she seems adequate at best. Let's give it to her. And I'm sure she's fantastic, but like,
she's
just
a great
so funny.
wrestler, but she's been in NXT for 4 years for a reason.
I know. It was such a hot potato moment. You're just like, oh, all right. Like, there we are. There we go. And okay. Like, fuck.
What did I tell you off the air? That my Austin theory is she's just transitioning so they can have Mariah May win that thing instantly.
Well, we'll see.
Just like, get Stephanie up, make the way for Mariah to be the face of NXT for whatever until she's ready to be called up. So
I don't know.
They've been doing this. They're the same thing. It's like they moved Julia aside to give Vaquer a short run. Now they're moving Vaquer away to give Mariah likely a run because Jordan Grace has now lost that chance to win that title like 3 times. So they ain't putting her as the next top one, at least not next. But yeah, no, it's insane the amount of talent that is cycling into that women's division. That's why it's just like you saw so many of the recent releases were women because like they knew they were paving way for all these studs to come in. And it's just part of the business, but it's exciting because I mean, but yeah, that moment, like that was an actual like, holy shit, what the fuck moment. Like I have not seen a crowd get that instantly deflated in a long time. It was like on a very small level of like when fucking Brock and the Undertaker. And like that was what it was.
That's what they went for. That's what they went for.
An NXT level. And it was just like literally all the air was taken out of the room. Just complete shock.
Even Mike Rome like did a fantastic job.
Oh, so they went to him and he was just like, what the fuck?
Like, am I supposed to, because
that was the typical match where Nestlemania would be like, this is a waste of time because I know she's not going to win. That can't apply to NXT because they fucking do this shit all the time. They've literally done it like multiple times. They did it with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. Like, it's just, they can't keep doing it.
It really keeps you on your toes though, as a viewer. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm okay with it. I'm absolutely okay with it. It was so funny because, like, the fun thing is like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the other two are more star quality, but like, whatever, like, give it to her, give her a shot, whatever, it is what it is. So she gets my comeback. Good for her. Hopefully it's I was going to say a long, lengthy reign, but that's probably not true.
Reign. Yeah, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. Do you think she lasts more than 2 months as a champion?
No.
Okay.
She's losing that thing in her first defense.
Okay.
Depending who it is, but it's just because it's insane to me. Like, if
you don't think they're going to give her cans to beat for a while?
Well, if it's not a transitional champion, it's like, why didn't Jada Parker or Jordan Grace win this?
Because I think they want Jordan Grace to have like a real reign.
But that's what I mean. So it's just like it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, that's why literally that's why JC's a transitional champion. If it was 2 months, like that's more of a real reign. So it's like I don't think it's gonna be that long. Like when's their next event? They have one coming up. Like, oh,
is Bertsky saying something about it? Maybe an OF thing? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, I believe Cora J went live on Monday, and Bert already has 52 subscriptions.
I don't pay for anything. Not that kind of stuff.
Nestle will not open up that wallet for many.
No, because here's the thing. My thing is if it's free somewhere else, why would I? Right? Like,
well,
sorry,
it's to support someone. That's why some people do it.
No, I don't. Yeah,
I've never done it personally, but
give me a fucking break.
Hey, you
want to see my bank statement? Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's the thing. Yeah, but there are plenty.
I'm happy to show you.
Nestlemania, there are a lot of people who have plenty of money and have no problem.
I got nothing. I share everything with my spouse. Boys on the Jobber Knocker. Yeah, seriously. We're doing this for the love of the game. Yeah, honest to God. Like, no. Well,
if you think TKO can't afford R-Truth and Carlito because of the fucking orange-haired moron we have in office, you think us fucking regular people can be subbing to fucking Elena Black? I don't think so.
Times are tough.
Yeah,
all right.
Our president's killed us all.
Let's not get there. Let's not go there.
You don't like the political talk, but it's true.
I don't.
You should contact the White House and ask him why R-Truth and Carlito got fired, because that's why.
Anyway,
nobody has any money. Nobody has money except for the richest of the rich.
Bertsky, all I'm going to say is this. I know you did.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, that's I won't out my favorite nickname for him on the podcast. But in that we should finish.
Fappers. Listen. Fappers are going to fap. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say.
Fappers going to fap it off. Fap it off.
So, and Bertsky's not going to say, no, I didn't. There's no way.
Fappers always finish Nestlemania, and we have to finish this program.
Yeah.
Week? We got 2 sets of predictions. Gunther and Jay are happening, but we got to apply Money in the Bank. So we're going to go to those predictions on Nestlemania. We have 4 matches, as we mentioned, including 2 ladder matches. But kicking off, we have a last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title, as Lana's Valkyria is a champion. If Lyra loses, she will be forced to raise Becky Lynch's hand and acknowledge her as the better woman. So Nestlemania, I ask you, who do you got?
Easy peasy, going with Becky Lynch.
Yeah, we did it last time we were on. So run it back. Give me big time Bex.
I feel like here's my thing, right? Becky Lynch said this, and it was like one of those things where it was like, I understand exactly what she's saying for storyline purposes, but it came off in my head like, she's fucking right. She's absolutely fucking right. She goes, okay, great. Like, you beat me again. Then what? And I was like, she's right. She's the most relevant, the most watchable she's ever been is with Becky Lynch. So got to keep the fucking train rolling, because who else is going to fucking make her interesting?
Also, this finishes off Becky's whatever they call it there. So she'll be the first one to have
Grand Slammy.
Have all the levels of women's title, and you know Becky wants that. So
she hasn't been the United States champion though.
It doesn't matter, no one has. But I'm just saying she'll be the first person to be a world, mid, and tag champion.
Yeah, mid. Go figure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Next up, tag team match player, the main event of Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on John Cena and Logan Paul. This is an interesting one because I love that I feel like they kind of said this was main event. I'll believe it when I see it. This is my hope last week, because you'll have both champions in the main event, vulnerable for whoever wins the ladder match. I want to pick Cody and Jey because then they can run back the press conference. But I'm just thinking, I was like, okay, if that happens, like, yeah, I mean, Cody always wins, and Jey, it would be good for him to pin Logan or something. But it's like, do we get more out of Cena and Logan winning? I don't know if we do, because neither of them show up very often. So I'm just going to go with my heart and pick Cody and Jey.
Okay. I think the hardest part here is you can't call it, but what I'm trying to figure out in my head is if Cody and Jey win, like, is Cody gonna pin Cena? Like, does that really give him the right to do it?
Pinning Logan. I think Jey's pinning Logan.
Okay.
Cody will take out Cena, and I think Jey will pin Logan.
See, that seems very responsible and realistic, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And honestly, if it's the other way around, I think Logan pins Jey, and it sets up another title match.
I'm gonna pick Logan and Cena. I don't feel good about it, But I think here's my logic with this is it continues to feel like that it leads in with Jey Uso spreading himself too thin. And that it keeps Cody chasing Cena without actually having a real reason to chase Cena yet, because I feel like they're playing that a lot slower than we think. So I'm just going to go, okay, like I could see that being the ending of the fucking thing. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good thing either way. That's why I'm going with that. But Nestlemania, we have the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. We have a Money in the Bank ladder match for a women's championship match contract. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. This is a tough one to call because I think there was a good case for 5 out of these 6. I hope Vaquer wins, but Nestlemania, who do you think wins?
Who do I think wins and who am I predicting? Two different things. I feel like Stephanie Vaquer, you made an excellent case this early in the podcast. I would, like I said, out of the 5 of them, I'm happy. Actually, I would say all 6. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed in this match. I really don't. I think I'm excited to watch this match. With my heart, I'm going to predict and pick Naomi. I'm not feeling good about it because that's what I want. And usually they don't give me what I want. So I'm going to say Naomi. And I think this is the first year that I'll probably be last in the standings. That's okay because I've been such a winner for the last couple of years. But I feel like it's going to be either Rhea, Naomi, or Stephanie.
See, I think Rhea has no chance because I just don't think she needs it. And then I feel like I always get myself in trouble with Money in the Bank because I'm always looking like, oh, who's the next thing? But sometimes it's just like they go with a more obvious one. And I think Naomi could do that. The only problem with Naomi is I feel like you get the most out of her if she cashes in on Bianca. Bianca's not a champion right now. So it's like her cashing on Tiffy doesn't do a lot for me. Her cashing on Io.
But that doesn't mean Bianca won't have it in 6 months.
Well, no, I agree. But it's just like I don't know if Naomi needs it to get there with Bianca. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like that doesn't need it. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the three youngins in Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne, because I think this could be one of the first times, or maybe I think it could benefit one of these 3 women from actually holding it for a long time, which with the woman, I mean, Tiffany was like, I feel like held it the longest of anyone. It's just like Carmella had it for a while, for like the longest before that, I feel like, and it wasn't even that super long, but it feels like, cause that's usually very quick. Like I think Alexa did it. She did it same night. Liv did it same night. So I'm just like, which one will get the most? Obviously Stephanie feels like the obvious pick because it feels like she's the most ready to slot in, but it's also one of those things. It's like, I feel like that person usually doesn't win. So I'm looking at Roxanne and Julia and I'm like, the more I think about it, I don't think Roxanne's going to get it. So I'm like, I think there's a good chance they give this to Julia. And this is her way to break into the main roster where she's lurking and she's the person who cashes in like 6 months. Maybe it's on Stephanie because Stephanie took the title from her when Stephanie wins the Raw title or something like that. But it's just like, I think you get the most out of the whole purpose of the briefcase if you have it with Julia, because it keeps her relevant in a time as she transitions to this. So I am going to go on a limb and I am going to pick a surprise winner in Julia because I think she fits the mold of the surprises that we usually get with this.
That is the most underwhelming pick in my opinion. So
no, the most underwhelming pick would be Alexa Bliss again, but you have this weird thing where you just don't like Julia and it's very odd. And I like that I can stick Conway on you because you're anti Italian Japanese motives here.
For God's sakes, get over yourselves.
And
boys.
Also, she's been in England too, so that's probably factors into it. So it's like, Nestlemania attacking all of us together.
By way of Italy, by way of England, I hate her. Yeah, okay, great.
And Japan, yeah, it's a 3-way. It's the Nestlemania hates you 3-way.
Okay, that's a great one. Cool.
Men's Wonderful. Money in the Bank ladder match. Winner gets a men's contract. Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande Americano. This one's fucking easy. Seth Rollins is winning this bullshit.
Give me Rollins or give me death, I guess. Is that what we're going to do
I choose death.
Well, if we haven't got to the end of the earth, we'll find a new one.
The other thing is, my boy Solo does win. I'm just fearful he's going to fucking use it for the U.S. title because Triple H hates Money in the Bank, apparently.
Imagine if LA Knight wins. Like, what the fuck are we going to do with that?
Oh, that one. Is that the worst case? No, Seth is the worst case scenario. That's what's
no. Seth is a realistic thing that's going to happen.
Yes, but it's the worst case scenario because it's annoying with Seth. But it's just like LA Knight's definitely the second worst scenario because it's like Nobody wants him as world champion. Even
No.
people who like LA Knight, nobody wants him as world champion. Like,
I mean, Solo's not got enough gusto. Solo like a year or two ago, I would have bought that. Not now. LA Knight, fuck you, no. And then it's just like Penta would be fucking cool. Makes no sense. Andrade doesn't have a fucking prayer. So it's just like El Grande Americano. If he fucking won, I would lose my. Here's my thing. The only thing I can think of, and this is the fucking shittiest thing I can think of, because I feel like this is how you let the air out of the goddamn room, is fucking El Grande Americano wins and cashes in on the fucking AAA championship.
I mean,
because they own it now.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that, because I think the whole purpose, I think, of him being in this match is that Rey Mysterio is going to return at Money in the Bank and cost him.
I hope you're right.
Where's the Mysterio? Okay. I think that's the only purpose of putting him in this match. Andrade's in there for the spots. Penta's in there for the spots. Solo's in there to fucking tease people and get all upset, and also like do maybe Fatu's out there and like fucks him over. LA Knight's in there for God knows whatever reason, and then Seth's in there to win. It's just like, I guess LA Knight is the guy where it's like he's the Julia of the match, like the shock value, but it's like the only reason I think the Julia one works is because she's kind of been a heel, and the Money in the Bank is better with the heels. Whereas like if you give it to fucking LA Knight, it's just like, and is that how we're gonna do LA Knight John Cena, a match nobody wants to see? Like, come on.
Okay,
let's collide some worlds, Nestlemania. I asked TJ, he said we're predicting it. So we're doing it 5 matches. This will be on YouTube. It'll air during the day leading into it. So if you're a fight fan, you have this during the day. Then you have the WWE pay-per-view. And then you have UFC 316 at 10, headlined by Marab and Sugar Sean. So this is a big day for TKO on Saturday. First up, Nestlemania, there are 2 of these on the program. I know you're excited. 6-man tag team match playa. Latino World Order, your favorite, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Walking Wild take on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. That's a pretty.
Have you seen what Mr. Iguana looks like?
No, but I'm picking them because the guy's name is Mr. Iguana, so I'm picking them.
They did a cutaway at NXT. I saw it in my feed, and I was like, "You will love Mr. Iguana."
Yeah, I'm picking them.
Without a
doubt, I'm picking them.
Like, it is hilarious to me. Like, my God, like, God damn it, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna Google it right now because I didn't even know this was a match until I loaded up the shit.
Just look at him,
this guy,
right?
I love this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This is the great.
It looks like you with the glasses and paint. That's what it looks like to me.
Generic white guy who fucking painted his face green.
It looks like you, especially with the glasses. Like, I was like, okay, great.
Oh, this guy's the man.
I'm picking LWO, but
oh my God, this is fantastic. I'm gonna root so hard for Mr. Iguana.
I'm not even going to put all these guys' names in. If I just put in Iguana, there you go. Iguana.
Yeah,
Company.
LWO or Iguana. We'll do the other 6-man tag match next because I know you love this match. Legado del Fantasma, the team of Santos Escobar, Angel, and Angel and Berto take on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., the longest, most unnecessary name in wrestling. Pagano, not Chuck Pagano, and then Psycho Clown. I'm picking Legado in this one. I think this is the one WWE takes because those other 3 guys do not sound as cool as Mr. Iguana.
I'm taking Psycho Clown. Like, I just think it's fucking awesome. And Wagner Jr. is a big deal in Mexico, so I'm gonna say they're gonna pick this one. So
is he related to El Hijo de Valquino, or do they just have the same start?
Just the same start, I believe.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they were like a thing together, if that was like a thing. Okay, we have 3 more matches in Nestlemania. Next up, this is the JC match of all JC matches because this is the greatest combination of a women's tag team that could ever exist. You have Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice teaming up. Be Still My Heart taking on Chick Tormenta and Dallas. I mean, there's no doubt I'm picking Miss Double Duty Stephanie Vaquer and my girl Lola Vice. Like, that's like I said, this is like Team JC. Like, this is that's all I have to say.
I mean, if they don't win, you know what's funny, JC? Just for you, I'm hoping this because I don't think it'll happen. It probably will never happen. But since Lola's out there, there's a shot in hell that we could have both of them twerking after this match, which would make you go.
Every segment that they have together in NXT, I am a fucking smitten kid. I love these 2 women. I think they're absolute fucking studs. And for those of you that know me well, you know I have a type, and they both very much fit that category. So, oh yeah, man. Are you picking them too?
I am fucking picking them because just because I want to see what you think next week when you have to review this. So, you know, there, Joe Gilmore can clip that one. So
Well,
it is what it is.
I'd say the next match is a come down from that, but it's not because this might be the most fun match in the card. Fatal 4-way match for the NXT North American Championship. All Ego Ethan Page, the new champion, defends against he's bouncing Javon Evans, Ray fucking Phoenix, and Laredo Kid. Nestlemania. This match is gonna fucking slap. Ethan Page is obviously gonna win because it's a easy fucking fatal 4-way. He retains whatever, but this match is gonna steal the show in my opinion.
I'm also picking Page, but I think this is going to be one of those matches where you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, is this video game or is this real life? So I have high expectations for 3 bouncy guys, and Ethan Page is going to ground everybody. So it's fine. It's fine. I mean, he'll probably fucking get knocked back in like the way he won the NXT championship. Like, it'll work. I don't know. It'll be a letdown that he wins because you don't want it to be over, but it'll work.
Yeah. They're all going to do their insane moves, and Ethan Page is just going to come in and pick up the scraps. That's what it's going to be.
And you know why The Miz probably will get canned in WWE? Because they got Ethan Page. Yeah. So there it is.
Yeah.
He's the Miz light, which is not a good thing to do.
I don't buy one until I see that, because with all the stuff that he does outside the ring.
We have The Miz at home. That's what it's going to be.
I don't know. There's no one that really does what he does. Next up, Nestlemania, the main event. It is a singles match for the AAA Mega Championship. El Hijo de Valquino, who just beat Alberto Del Rio, whatever the fuck he's called, for the title, is taking on Chad Gable, and obviously El Hijo de Valquino is going to win. But this match should also be very fun. Hopefully El Hijo doesn't botch everything like he used to do in AEW.
I mean,
because he's fucking cool as shit.
I mean, Chad Gable's not winning this match, so I mean, you'd be stupid to pick Chad Gable. So I just don't want anybody to get hurt. That's really all I'm looking at. Like, for the love of God, like, please, Chad Gable, don't get hurt, but you're not winning. So,
well, he better not, because he's got to wrestle later that night in the ladder match.
I know.
Him and Stephanie doing double duty.
Unfucking real. Unfucking real. So that's pretty much that.
Yeah.
All right.
So when Seth Rollins does win, do you think he cashes in that same night, Monday on Raw, or he holds it?
I told you he's going to fucking cash in after Raw when Gunther does not win. Gunther's going to be upset that he loses to Jey Uso again, beats the fucking piss out of him. And then Seth Rollins comes in, curb stomps, pick up the stat, and you're just never going to watch Monday Night Raw on Netflix ever again. That's it.
I'll have a lot to fast forward, that's for sure.
I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of any of it.
We've made that quite clear. So
speaking of things we're not fans of, AEW.
Oh God, I forgot we even had to talk about this.
Check out this one, Fyter Fest. We've got a 4-hour special event.
What? 4 straight hours?
Because they're combining, I believe they're combining.
Oh, you mean they don't want to go head to head with Money in the Bank on Saturday?
Probably not. I think they're combining.
Game. I think the finals. I think is game 2 Saturday.
My goodness, we got Kenny Omega taking on Brody King. Lindsay Dorado is in there now. Oh, cool.
He's been off and on with them, yeah.
And Claudio Castagnoli, as they're doing a international fucking matching for the international title, which I can appreciate. And Kenny Omega is going to win that, so nobody gives a fucking flying fuck about that.
Next.
It looks like we got. Oh, that's fucking weird. Tony Storm and Mina versus Blue Sky and Julia Hart.
That's a JC match if I've ever heard one. So I'm that gets a thumbs up from JC. I mean, the AEW, there's a lot of women I love on that roster, so I get behind that division.
It says that the Hurt Business will appear. So I mean, you're gonna watch that.
Yes, MJF in the Hurt Business has been everything I've wanted it to be so far.
It sounds like something with King Ricochet is happening. I don't know, whatever. The new Spider Lady.
Ricochet said that everyone's getting factions, so he's going to get one of his own. So people have been speculating who's going to join Ricochet.
We also have FTR versus Atlantis Jr. and I'm going to butcher this fucking name, Templario.
Who are they? Should I know
just
them?
They're like people from
Japan or
from CMLL, I think maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
I don't know. It just seems like that. We also have John Moxley, the world champion, taking on Mark Briscoe. If that hasn't fucking put you in the seats.
Oh my God. That sounds like, you know how we call that other match, the JC match? That is the anti-JC match. 2 things I never want to watch.
Also, a head scratcher for this as well. We have what the fuck is this? We have the trios match We're at the. I'm not even gonna tell you who is in it. It's Commander, Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey against fucking Jesus Christ, Beast Mortis, Roche, and Drill Mystico, whatever his name is.
I
the
hope
dragon
nobody
guy.
gets hurt.
Like anytime I hear a
That's
trios
like
match, I'm done.
Anytime I hear Commander, I'm also done.
Like Jesus Christ, like what the fuck are we watching here? Like who thinks that someone's gonna tune into this shit? And I really truly mean that. Like none of what we just said, with the exception of the Hurt Business, I'm interested.
Hurt Business and the women's tag. That's all I care about. Everything else, I will probably fast forward. There's nothing with Ospreay and Heyman.
I'm sure there's something, but they didn't advertise it.
Swerve, because they have to try and do Swerve because they're trying to make Ospreay's trying to make the fucking Avengers.
I'm sure it's just getting ready for Blood and Guts, which I'll watch and tune in for that, sure. But I want to see the kaboom. But other than that, like, who gives a shit? The AEW has turned into a virtual who's who of who gives a shit.
It's borderline unwatchable besides a few select segments, and it's like Tony Storm stuff, and it's the Hurt Business stuff, and then it's like Heyman, Ospreay. Everything else is literally unwatchable almost. You gotta be a sick fuck to enjoy that shit over like what we get on NXT and those other shows. You gotta be a sick fuck to enjoy that more.
You know what it is? It's just some people just enjoy watching good wrestling. I think that's what it comes down to. But
a lot of it isn't even good wrestling. Like the matches on AEW are so fucking sloppy half the time, which sometimes I appreciate, but it's just like it's unnecessary slop.
I think the hardest thing I have to deal with in my head is for people saying like AEW is where the best wrestle, or AEW is this instead of WWE. I know we're going to come off like WWE homers, but when all the people in AEW like fucking leave to go to the WWE.
Well, that's the thing. Like, all the young stars in AEW are using it as a fucking platform to get WWE. Stephanie pretty much said that. She's like, yeah, I knew my match with Mercedes and AEW was I wanted to be in WWE. And it's like, we've seen Mariah, one of their top young stars, leave. Ricky Saints just come over. Like, it's like, for all the, like, Wardlow's probably next because he's been gone. MJF probably his next contract going to WWE. Whereas for AEW, it's like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, you can have fucking Adam Copeland and his 90-year-old fucking geriatric wrestling. It's like, oh, you can have Jon Moxley, who we never really liked as a top guy anyways. You can have him forever. Oh, you want old ass Chris Jericho? Yeah, he can be all in. Sure. Doesn't hurt us. We love Ricochet, but we got fucking Javon Evans coming and we got about 60 new luchadors that are just as bouncy. We love Ricochet, but sure, you can have him too. Oh, Swerve? Yeah. Like, he's all right. Like, he'd be a nice mid-carder for us. But, yeah, no, you can have him as your world champion. It's just, like, there's a difference in, like, the stars going one way or the other. And they're like, yeah, Rusev and Alistair, who you wanted to make big stars and you didn't, we'll gladly take them back as, like, nice superstars to have on our roster for sure.
It's the fastest scroll I've ever done as a wrestling fan. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, anything else? We get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here, Nestlemania. But you guys should enjoy the big weekend of wrestling because it should be a fun Saturday.
Well, we're going to find out who's bouncy. That's for sure. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.